So just in case you don't watch Ups and Downs for SmackDown, why don't you watch Ups and Downs for SmackDown? Why do you hate me? It is Christmas time, so everyone from WhatCulture Wrestling has gone home for the holidays as they should do. But because I understand the consistency train must keep on going on, we're in strange environments and I'll be doing the editing today. And I know that scares your socks off, but at least you can see your toes, and given that we did just have the Holiday Bash episode of Rampage, let's take the finger of power, give the good bits an up, and the bad bits are down. So the Three Kings Casino Battle Trios Royale or something like that kicked off Rampage, and I'm still pretty sure I had that in Burger King the other day. But I tell you this, what a lovely little surprise. Because it turned out this was a way to AEW to do the Royal Rumble format, in the sense that every team entered every single 2 minutes, and as we all know, this is the best structure to any Battle Royale. I also realized, wait a minute, if the winner is getting $300,000, that means $100,000 for each member of the team. And I was super proud because maths. Otherwise, look at the potential we have when it comes to the trios division in AEW, because the teams were Kip Sabian and the Butcher and the Blade, the Best Friends, Roosh, Preston Vance and Dralistico, the Blackpool Combat Club, the Dark Order, Serpentico and Helico and Luther, Ari Daivari and the Varsity Athletes, as well as AR Fox and Top Flight. That is amazing. This was also the order of entry too, because I like to drive a tight ship here on Ups and Downs. Otherwise, there ain't really much I can tell you. It was a battle royal, although we did sprinkle some story seeds in there. Because Vance was allowed to throw out Trent really early on, so we could look at him and go, oh my gosh, yeah, he did go bad guy recently and it's working out for him. And by the time the Dark Order got in there, they looked at their former friend like, well, you've been a pissant recently, so we're gonna beat you up. They weren't able to do that, with Vance also eliminating Serpentico later on. If it was Serpentico, you never know for sure. And it was actually Jon Moxley that got rid of the former 10 eventually, and that's no bad thing. You just got eliminated by a flipping AEW World Champion. Really though, this was the time for AR Fox and Top Flight, and that made me feel so warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum, because Darius and Dante Martin have quite a hard 2022 with injuries, but now we're going into 2023, the world is their oyster. These three also just gel together like peanut butter and cheese. What can I tell you, I have weird taste buds. And after it was Jon Moxley that got rid of AR Fox, we had Mox, we had Claudio, and we had the Martins, and it was time to have a really good time. I said time twice. It was super duper fun though, because just as they got into it, all of a sudden Hangman Adam Page ran out there, even though he promised the Dark Order he wouldn't do, and he got into it with Moxley, who was totally distracted. Darius didn't give a flub because he made sure to throw Moxley out of there, so he did hit the floor. But John was so mad that the Cowboy had screwed up his plans. They just got into this huge brawl and nobody could stop him. Mox even jumped off the top at one point because he was just like, I can't handle it anymore. When all of a sudden Claudio Castagnoli remembered, oh yeah, there may be two guys, but I bet I can throw them around like paper, which is a weird thing to say. And he did. It was then just tease, and all, whoa, that person's about to hit the floor when Dante went for the Hurricane Rana. But because Claudio is so strong, he wasn't able to get him out. So Darius was like, all right. He walked over and just shoved the man. Claudio hit the floor. Top Flight and AR Fox won. I thought this was just tremendous. So I hope they do invite me around to a dinner soon, because I bet I would also have a joyous old time. We'll see what happens with this. Hopefully they now will be the #1 contenders after we sort out everything between the Death Triangle and the Elite. Giving it an up. And then my word, the sign. Now how I missed this on Dynamite, I don't know, but I made sure to look out for it on Rampage, because somebody did indeed have a piece of paper that said, Simon Miller fears the hardest part of the ring. I do. This made me so damn happy, because we started goofing around with this a few weeks ago, and now look what has happened. Someone even suggested doing a Simon Sign counter in 2023, and that feels a little bit arrogant, but even still, I love all of you guys. You make this so damn fun. Giving it up. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz were then finally back on TV. Where'd they go? They were doing a promo in the ring too, and of course they were mad because they're always mad. And Eddie was all like, look, we sent a contract to the House of Black because we want to fight them, and did we get anything back? No, we did not. Also, why don't you start playing around with the lights now? Because they must have seen the House of Black's entrance. And they didn't get this because instead Julia Hart walked out all zombified and kind of pointed at the big screen when Malachi Black did appear with his goons and basically said something like, the enemy of my friend is the friend of my enemy, so if you're an enemy of my friend, you are the enemy. It just sounds so cool when he says this stuff. I'm like, man, Black, I do whatever you say. It kind of did work though, because all of a sudden Kingston and Ortiz were looking at each other like, oh, really? You screwed me over, did you? So there you go. Hopefully hopefully we're going to do some kind of combination of this tag team match, and I'm all good with it, mostly because I do want to see all of the people involved on a television program. So I am going to give it an up. We wait and see. We also have a new wonderful couple in AEW too. Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Because Renee Paquette was trying to interview them, but Sam was more interested in going, wait, look at my abs. And even though Garcia can't stand this dude, he respects Chris Jericho. So if Chris Jericho thinks he's going to learn, he'll do his best. Guevara basically ignored all of this though and just sauntered over and kept trying to hug him. Dan was like, no, I don't want it. And this really made me laugh. Please just make this proper goofy wrestling, but then let them have him kick all the ass when it gets to the ring. I love that sort of a balance. Giving it up. Jade Cargill was out here next. It's the same deal as always. Because Jade is great. I don't care what anybody says. I think she's had a terrific 2022 and she just gets better each and every single week. But because we don't have any direction for her, she does just have squash match after squash match after squash match. And eventually it doesn't really mean anything. Because she was facing Vert Vixen here and she beat her with a pump kick. We didn't even get to the Jaded. And I was also just a bit like, well, now all the baddies seem to be back on the same page, and what happened with Kiera Hogan. And I know she has had some bigger feuds over the last 12 months, but I just feel like we need something more. So hopefully we do have big plans when we get to 2023, because you can't miss with Jade Cargill. I mean, look at her. Also, you can tell that she does care, but still, it's got to get her down. Ruby Soho promo after this, and she was all like, well, I thought I was done with Ty Mello, but now Anna JAS is getting in my face, so I'm going to have to do something about it. So I didn't want to, but I got a tag team partner. And then I was super happy, because it was Willow Nightingale who basically bounced on the screen. Give her a belt next year. We also got a promo from Wardlow who promised us that he is going to win the TNT title from Samoa Joe next week, and he just may do that. And we got an advert that in 2023, we are going to have a brand new looking Dynamite. And I always think this is smart, because you always want to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to presentation. So I'm setting this one to intrigue. All this kept going too because we then zoomed outside where Powerhouse Will Hobbs just beat up some random person. And even though this only lasted about 8 seconds, Hobbs came across like a crazy man. So given all those videos we've been seeing on Dynamite, feels like we may be ready to pull the trigger. So when you take all these 4 segments too and put them in a pot, yeah, we've got new stories, we've got new characters, we've got new feuds, we've got new designs. Giving it an up. Which brought us to the main event, and who the hell thought this was going to happen in 2022? Because Billy Gunn and Jeff Jarrett just main evented an All Elite Wrestling show. We are living in crazy times. Now this of course was just more teasing for the eventual Acclaimed versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, who were the opponents here, as they were taking on Daddy Ass and Anthony Bowens. But at least we made sense of all of this, because everyone's like, well, Max Caster's not ready to compete because stupid Double J hit him with a stupid guitar. And you could say what you want about Jarrett as well, but somehow he's just won me over because he totally understands his role as an asshole. And also, Max Caster's rap here was brilliant, because not only did he compare Satnam Singh to the Great Khali, but given that Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal were in there, he was like, what is this, TNA? Love it. AEW even knew what we wanted deep down in our Tootsie Toes too, so we did get to the Ass Man versus Mr. Slapnuts. I was just laughing. It's like, this could actually be 2002. God was smacking everybody, and he took out Jay when he came in with the clothesline as Jarrett hit Bowens with another line on the outside. And I do believe they're calling themselves Triple J, because of course Jeff Jarrett and Jay ... Lethal. And when that clicks in your brain, yes, I can only assume we're doing this to try and wind some people up. All of it was basically built to the Billy Gunn hot tag though, or the BGHT, and he once again was just absolutely killing it, including clotheslanging Singh over the top rope. Now, I think he is 52, maybe 53 years old, but that dude still knows what he's doing. It caused Lethal to panic because he went for the lethal injection, but Gunn shut that one down, when all of a sudden Sonjay Dutt was going to try and cast destruction, but Anthony Bowens got rid of him when Jeff Jarrett was back with the stroke. Madness. Caster then realized that if he was going to help out, he was going to have to start playing Nintendo too, so he was trying to distract the ref, but he had not done the numbers game, because of course, Sonjay Dutt was like, alright, well I'm just going to get in the ring, I've seen Billy Gunn's testicles, and I'm going to punch him right in the bag. And he did. It meant that Jay was then able to fly in with the lethal injection to get the win, so look what we did here. Anthony Bowens didn't lose. Billy Gunn took the pin. Jay Lethal was the guy that got the visual pinfall, so that works. And Jeff Jarrett just did what Jeff Jarrett needed to do. So of course we will get to the proper match of the Acclaim taking on Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Caster and Bowens will be in that one. So it is just a fine tag team title feud that you can do over the next few weeks with the Acclaim getting the big win at the end. I can't get mad at that, and I can't get mad at this. and daddy ass and slap nuts have won me over. Maybe I'm just a easy touch. That does make life more fun. Which did indeed bring us to the end of another AEW Rampage, and this one didn't really have the same bang as what 7 days ago did. But I still enjoyed myself. As I do with most Rampages, what are you gonna do? Call the Ghostbusters up. Now please do leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about last night's episode of Rampage. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com where you can read yourself some articles. Make sure you go over to social media and give us a follow there. And look, SmackDown Ups and Downs is also live. If you want to know why I've spoken so quietly throughout this video, you're gonna have to watch it. My name is Simon WhatCulture. Thank you very much for watching me as always and for all the support throughout 2023. Have a lovely Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. See you soon.